At this time, I'd like to call to the stage the reason that all of this exists. And without further ado, certainly in honor of our sister, I'd like to ask our brother and minister, Louis Farrakhan, to please come and be the last voice that we get to hear from this mic. Please give our brother a warm round of applause, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan from the Nation of Islam.
Thank you so much. Before I say what I want to say, I want to express gratitude. Allah in the Quran says that He hates ingratitude. I loved the expression of everything that happened tonight. This demonstration of gratitude for what Allah has given to us in Sister Frederica Bay, and the beautiful women in support of the Million Man March, and the school, and all of you who have helped her to realize the vision that was not for her but for all of us. We are grateful. Louis Farrakhan is a product of many, many people, as you are. No one of us has the luxury to say I and speak using the independent pronoun. All of us represent a community of persons that made it possible for us to be who we are, what we are, and where we are. So the Quran beautifully uses the collective pronoun we, because so many of us fail to recognize those who gave us what we have and sacrificed that we may be who and what we are. I'm a product of a Christian mother and a Christian church that nurtured me. No matter where I go in the world, I can never forget the roots of who I am, but what made me who I am. I grew up in church and I loved my church. It was a community of people that helped to raise me or rear me. But I was always thirsting to see our people free. And my church, Episcopalian church, very quiet church. Well, it just wasn't addressing the needs of our people. I loved Jesus, I loved the scripture, but I wanted to see something done for black people. Little did I know that while I was playing in a nightclub in Chicago, at the Blue Angel nightclub, my wife and I driving in a cab, and I see an old friend of mine from Boston, And he said, I got out of the cab to talk to him. And I told him, man, I'm playing down here at the Blue Angel, man. You need to come and check out my show. He didn't say yay or nay, but he had a kind of strange look, you know. I didn't realize how much of a Muslim he had become, and my show was not interesting to him at all. He said, but your uncle is right around the corner. And I went and I saw my uncle, who had become a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And when I first went to my uncle's home in New York, as a young boy of 11 years old, he had the picture of a black man on his wall. In my house, my mother from the Caribbean, she had King George, Queen Elizabeth, and a Caucasian Jesus. But when I went to my uncle's house, nobody Caucasian was on his wall. And I saw the face of a black man, and I asked my uncle, who is he? My uncle said he came to unite black people. I knew that that was the man I was looking for. I was a little shorty, so I got a chair to stand on the chair to drink in this man's features. And I said, where is he that I might follow him? My uncle said, he passed away. And I began to cry. And the man in that picture was the Right Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So my uncle was always around blackness. My father, that I never knew, was a follower of Marcus Garvey. My mother was on the fringe. When they used to meet at Liberty Hall on 116th Street, where the mosque is now, my mom sometime would go there to the meetings. She was a black woman. And when I say black, I don't mean with this color. I mean black. And my mother wanted to raise me to love black people. She didn't miss. She gave me the Crisis magazine as a child, and I read W.E.B. Du Bois. She gave me the Afro-American newspaper, the Pittsburgh Courier. I wanted to be filled with what my people were suffering. So when my friend took me to my uncle and said, you know, Elijah Muhammad is speaking tomorrow, it's Savior's Day. Would you come? I said, of course, I will come. I didn't know that my friend Rodney Smith would speak to Brother Malcolm and tell Malcolm that this entertainer from Boston, who is very popular, is coming to Savior's Day. Malcolm went and told the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now I'm just learning this in the last few years. All the people that are new in the mosque, they have to sit in the front rows. But I came with my wife and my daughter, my first daughter, who was 1 year and 1 week old. She was sitting in the front, but he had me sitting in the balcony. And he had Captain Yusuf Shah positioned by a certain pole, and I would be diagonally in front of him so that when Elijah Muhammad spoke, he could look up and see this young man that was a guest at Savior's Day. So when Elijah Muhammad began to speak, being a student of English, I kind of froze. I said, oh man, this man is not speaking well. And he looked up at me and he said, brother, I didn't get a chance to get that mighty fine education that you got. When I got there, the school door was closing. He said, but don't you pay no attention to how I'm saying it. You pay attention to what I'm saying. Then you take it and put it in that fine language that you know. Only try to understand what I'm saying. Little did I know that on that very day, he was giving me my future assignment.